Chapter: Who are you, Anastasia?
Before asking Anastasia this question, I looked at her closely. Here, sitting before me, was a woman, young and beautiful, who outwardly scarcely differed from the people of our civilization, except perhaps by the lightness one could sense even outwardly that ran through her body, a lightness in her posture and gestures, and especially when she stood up and walked. She did all this with an unusual lightness. The cumbersome, heavy gait of an elderly person differs significantly from the movements of someone young, energetic, and full of life. But there was that same difference between the movements and gait of Anastasia and even a young athlete. She seemed light as a feather, and at the same time she was physically strong. She easily carried my heavy backpack 15 kilometers, while also helping me walk. During our short breaks, she did not lie down or take a seat, exhausted, but moved, first running off to collect herbs, then massaging them into my foot. And all this with a lightness, cheerfulness, and smile. Why is she so full of life? Try sometimes to look closely at the stream of people walking down the street. Their faces. I have. Nearly all of them are concentrated, depressed, or gloomy, especially when it's a single person. And he doesn't seem to be carrying a heavy burden. He's dressed decently, and he obviously isn't hungry because he's smoking expensive cigarettes, but on his face is a stamp of tension and grave thoughts, and that's the way it is for many, for most. Whereas she is joyful all the time. Like a carefree child, she beams happiness at the sun and the herbs and the rain and clouds all the time, and even when you talk about serious matters with her, she is never sad. Which is why now, no, her appearance was not very characteristic. Anastasia was sitting with her head slightly bowed and eyelashes lowered, as if she were embarrassed or a little sad, as if she could tell what I wanted to ask her about. But I still asked. If you look through all the letters, Anastasia, you will be convinced of the different things you are called, even extraterrestrial. In her book, a well-known psychologist, the researcher Lavrova, called you a biologist of an extraterrestrial civilization. Ordinary readers call you a goddess, although they behave oddly and write as if to a close friend. You are probably the first they have ever called a goddess, but they aren't worshipping but speaking as if to a close friend. Scientists and religious leaders, for the most part, call you an essence, a high essence, a self-sufficient substance. Here I am interacting with you. I wrote a book about our meetings, and I cannot figure out who you are. Can you explain to me clearly and distinctly who you are?
Vladimir, who do you see in me?
Anastasia asked without looking up.
And why is it so important to you what others say?
That's the whole point, that I myself don't know what I'm seeing. If I were to tell you honestly...
Tell me, Vladimir, honestly and sincerely, and I will try to understand it all.
Well, all right. I'll tell you everything. When I saw you the first time, Anastasia, I perceived you as an ordinary woman. When I went into the forest with you the first time, we sat down to rest, and you undressed to your shift and took off your kerchief, and I saw you were beautiful, attractive. You understand, among us women like that are called sexy, or said to have sex appeal. That time with you, well, you know yourself what I wanted, do you remember?
Yes.
So now, maybe because of all these incomprehensible things, I don't want that anymore. Even when I see you naked.
You're afraid of me now, Vladimir, right?
Not afraid. I don't think so. But so much is incomprehensible. Here our son was born, but you seem to grow more distant, and even when you're nearby, like now, sitting, you still seem far away, not close. I get that feeling. The thought never leaves me that you're some kind of essence.
I may be, but so are you.
No. I'm not an essence. No one has called me that in the letters. Readers sometimes get angry at me in their letters, but no one has any doubt that I'm a human being.
I beg of you, Vladimir, understand. I'm a woman, and I am also a human being.
You say you're also a human being, but you don't want to do the most elementary things. You don't want to live like all people live. the whole world. Everyone wants an apartment, furniture, a car. You don't. The books are starting to make money, and soon there will be more. Let me buy an apartment, furniture, a car, and we'll travel to holy sites and take our son along. Our civilization right now is restoring temples and monasteries, and in other countries there are many holy sites and historical monuments. But you don't have anything here, no holy sites. So what keeps you here? What do you have to lose?
Vladimir, my dimension is here, the Creator's creation in its primordial form. My foremother and my mother. My father caressed each blade of grass with their love. Each magnificent cedar remembers the warmth of their hands and gazes. And in the spring the seeds of all the plants put out shoots. And each little grain that touches the ground in the spring contains all the information of the universe, including information about the light of grace they will see. The little grain will grow into a shoot, the nice sun will help it along, and the shoot will stretch toward man, and for something even more than the sun has, for the light of grace. This is how the Creator created everything. He thought of this so that man could continue to create with it. My parents preserved the Creator's creations. The dimension of love is here. My parents gave it to me. Can there be anything holier in the world than the Creator's creations? One's parents, the vibrant love that has filled the dimension. This is what each person, each parent must do. Give the child he bears a dimension of love. A dimension as beautiful as the mother's womb, and only there can their future child, their future, be happy. I am giving our son a holy sight and a dimension of love.
You are giving him that, but where is my dimension of love? What can I give our son?
Many have had their chain of succession disturbed. But the thread has not been broken. There is a thread connecting the Creator to everyone at once, and each person individually. And each person just has to understand and feel it. And then each person can acquire both light and strength. Vladimir, you should expand the dimension of love. In the world where you now live, create a dimension of love. For our son, for all the children of earth, turn the entire earth into a dimension of love.
I don't understand. What do you want from me? To change the whole earth?
Yes, that is what I want.
And for everyone to love one another? For there to be no more wars or crime? And for the air to be clean? The water?
May it be so on the whole earth.
And only then will I be considered a real father who has given our son something?
Only then will you be a father respected by your son.
You mean otherwise he won't respect me?
For what, Vladimir? For which actions of yours do you want to gain your son's respect?
For the same thing all children in the world respect their fathers. Fathers gave them life.
What kind of life? When a child comes into the world, where does he find his joys? And why is there so much unhappiness in the world given by fathers? The newly born must live in this unhappiness. And here the person giving birth feels irrelevant. This is how we live, and we want respect, and are amazed when we don't get it. Believe me, Vladimir, children truly respect very few of their fathers. This is why when they grow up a little, they abandon their parents, forget them. And in this way, albeit intuitively, they both blame their parents and repeat their mistake themselves. Vladimir, if you want to earn your son's respect, you are going to have to create a happy world.
Oh, yes, now I see. I leapt up. There was despair and fury in my mind. My thoughts swarmed. Now I understand, and I hope it has become clear to everyone. Anastasia is a fanatic hermit. This is what I supposed right away at our first meeting. She may have unusual abilities of unknown origin, and these abilities of hers, her ray, are not commensurate, by which I mean her abilities are not commensurate with her. You remember, she said, I will carry people across the dark forces span of time. Yes, obviously she herself realized this was beyond her strength to do, and now she was trying to draw me and her readers into this fruitless dream. I see that along with this fanaticism and abnormality, there is in her an incredible cunning, and with its help she does everything for the sake of her dream. She bore a child and got me to write a book. What a thing to say. In order to earn your son's respect, remake the world, turn the entire world into a dimension of love, and give it to your son and all the children. Methodically and subtly, she is drawing everyone into her dream and keeps complicating the task before me. First, write a book. Now create a dimension of love throughout the world. Then what? We know quite a few fanatics who have tried to change the world. And where are they now? They've dispersed like smoke. And here is another in front of me with a lowered head. And still, change the world. I knew it was pointless to argue with people who were abnormal fanatics. You have to calm down and walk away, but I couldn't help myself. I told her everything as she sat with her gaze lowered as before. I understand who you are. You're a combination of essence and human being, and you're cunning, exceptionally cunning. How subtly you've woven your intrigue. Make me write a book and bear a son as bait. You tried with your inhuman logic to conceal your fanaticism, only you made a blunder. It's a blunder, you see. While I was writing the book, I came into contact with lots of people and understood a lot. I was given many different spiritual books to read. I don't know what you know about them, but I can say one thing. 1,000 years ago and more, wise men, great and holy, appeared on earth, and their different spiritual trends live on to this day. There are more than 2,000 different religions on earth. I heard them say in a television broadcast about this. All of them talk about good and teach everyone how to live, and each leader tells us that the truth is in him alone. There are plenty of holy sites around, and what good has come of their millennia of talking shop? From their teachings. I've understood just one thing. The millennia pass, but the war does not end. The war among the teachings. Whoever wins is considered right, but not for long. Time passes, there's a new war, and a new teaching wins, but no one pays any attention to those who fell in that war. If I were to say it all outright, you know who you are and what you're calling on me and all your readers to do. Anastasia stood up, looked me calmly in the eyes, and said,
Please don't go on, Vladimir. Believe me, I know what you might say. Let me. It will be briefer and without name-calling.
You? All right, give it a try. And without name-calling, what did I want to say?
You wanted to say, Vladimir, you were talking about the many prophets there have been on earth, the teachers. There are many different teachings, and it is hard for you to sort them out. But I will tell you, and you can understand it all if you want to. The criterion that will serve to assess everything is water. With each passing day, the water gets dirtier, and the air is hard to breathe. The succession of secular rulers, no matter what temples they've erected, will be remembered by their descendants only for the dirt that came down from them. Life gets more and more dangerous with each passing day, but we're alive. You thought I was one of those who tries to teach everyone how to live, Vladimir? One of those who creates another religion, trying to place herself at its head. I assure you, though, I would not allow in myself the kind of egoism that incinerated all those enlightened people later. I can and will win. I will stop the fume and stench of factory smoke, and the miners will realize that they should not rip open the earth's veins. I beg of you people, change your professions quickly. All those professions that bring harm to the earth, to the Creator's great creation. I beg of you people to understand quickly that no one can be happy on earth who continues to damage the earth. A little time will pass, and human misfortune all over the earth will go into its death throes, and the earth will burn up in its own fire. Human consciousness will carry people across the dark forces span of time. Vladimir, look around you. What I have dreamed has already come true. My dream has been picked up by the universe and is being given out to all people. All humanity is already racing over the abyss. Only the doubter will fall into the abyss. But humanity, believe me, Vladimir, humanity will be saved. People will see who children are, and people will come to know life in paradise. Events in Russia are not happening randomly. Vladimir, take a closer look at events. I am undoing the hell foretold for Earth.
But who are you? Who do you consider yourself to be?
Oh, do you still not understand? The postulates have placed disbelief in your own soul in you. I am a sorceress and my dreams and aspirations are fruitless. Is that what you think? But doubts are torturing you. You do and don't believe yourself, and that is my fault. I'm such a bungler. Everything I say is confused and incomprehensible. People, everyone who is reading this, forgive me. I cannot find the words to make it understandable to absolutely everyone. Forgive me, Vladimir, for misleading you. They do not understand everything you've written and they are laughing at you. But how can I atone for my guilt? It occurred to me that if you like, I could play the complete fanatic. Or I could appear as myself, understand it that way if you like, but sincerely believe that I sincerely want good for all people. Just know that. Please do not frown. Smile. Look at how beautiful everything around you is. Do not torture yourself. I don't want there to be any mystery. If it is easier for you to take me for a naive sorceress, then take me for whatever you believe.
There, that's a little better. There's clarity. So, you mean you've been acting this whole time?
Are you perceiving my acting with your soul?
Acting should be cheerful.
Naturally, you're right about that. There should be lightness and simplicity in everything, and I should be cheerful.
Through the clouds, the nice sun's rays were shining on the lake's smooth surface and its shore. Drops of rain were lying on the bush's leaves and the grass, and circles were rippling on the water from the drops of rain. Anastasia, who before this had been speaking with agitation and quietly, not taking her eyes off me, suddenly looked from side to side, clapped her hands, and laughed. A ringing, infectious, inviting laugh spilled out over the cedar's branches and the lake's shore and surface. In childish delight, she began spinning in the rare drops of rain and laughing like a child. But every few minutes she would break off for a fiery dance. I saw the sun's rays playing on her face, which was aglow either in raindrops or in tears. Suddenly, everything around fell still, and Anastasia's ringing, confidently desperate phrases filled the space and were borne upward. The air above the tiger became bluer, and the birds fell silent. As if the birds were listening to everything as Anastasia's phrases flew off into space.
Hey you prophets, talking for millennia about the despair and frailty of earthly existence, frightening people with hell and judgment. Cool your ardor. It is your fault man has so much trouble understanding heaven. Hey Nostradamus. Nostradamus, you didn't predict, you created with your thought the dates of terrible cataclysms for Earth. You made many people believe you and thereby led their thoughts to make something terrible come true. Your thought hovers over the planet, frightening people with its prophecy and despair. But now it will not come to pass. Let your thought do battle with mine. Of course you know everything in advance and that is why you flee so quickly. Hey, you who call yourselves teachers of men's souls. Teachers who tried to tell men that he is weak of spirit, knows nothing, and all truths are accessible to you alone as the chosen one. Only through worship of you is the divine voice and the truth of universal creation accessible. Cool your ardor. Now let everyone know that the Creator gives each person everything from the beginning, and one has only not to cover the great creations with a host of postulates, a host of fictions to please the pride of their Creator. Do not stand between God and men. The Father wants to speak with each person himself. The Father does not know intermediaries. Each person has the truth in his soul from the beginning. Let each person be happy right now, today, not tomorrow. The Creator filled each moment and every age with happiness. There is no room in his intentions for his beloved offspring to suffer.
She was acting, with such inspiration, so desperately. Of course she was acting, but why was that unusual light shining above her in the sky over the tiger? It was as if the heavens could record all the phrases that Tiger Hermit was throwing from the earth with such inspiration and despair.
Hey, predicators of the ages, who predicted darkness for man, thereby creating both darkness and hell. Oh, how assiduously you fed your egregore, frightening man in the name of the Father. Come on, here I am. Everyone here. With my ray I will burn up the host of age-old postulates in an instant. All the anger on earth. Leave what you are doing, rush to me, fight me, just try. But you, warriors of all faiths, it is you after all who created all the wars. Now do not even dream of wars. Do not draw people into war for your mercantile interests with the deceit of obscurantism. I am alone before you. Vanquish me. Come at me, all of you, to vanquish me. The battle will be without a battle, and followers of all faiths will help. My foremothers and my fathers put the true light of the primary sources in them. Use everything you have safeguarded so carefully for me. Give it to everyone who can accept the light. Let evil fight itself and my flesh, not my soul. I will give all my soul to people. I will remain in people with my soul. Ready yourself, malevolence, leave the earth, attack me. I am a human being. I'm a human being of the primary sources. I am Anastasia, and I am stronger than you.
Stop. Why call down all the devils yourself? I broke in thinking this was still some game.
Vladimir, don't be afraid of them. They are cowardly. Not only that, you yourself said I was cunning. Cunning? So be it. I outwitted them. They laughed at you, thought me a fiction. Meanwhile, I was creating and bestowing the power that my foremothers and fathers had brought me from the primary sources upon many people.
She stamped her foot and laughed ringingly, and began spinning again like a ballerina. Carried away by her game, I began showing her moral support. Then do it, Anastasia, burn. Let all the earth's evil rush to you and you incinerate it. Just be careful doing it, and don't perish.
For me to perish, Vladimir, they would have to leave many earthly affairs, freeing many human souls from their shackles. But if I do perish, what I dreamed of will come true anyway. The strings of the universal harp will play a happy melody, and human souls will hear them. They will understand. Make your sound, universe, you happy melody. For them, for all the people of the earth. Let everyone know the soul's melody. Human souls will aim their rays at the earth, which is weary from its misfortunes. Watch, Vladimir.
With these words, Anastasia ran toward the plastic bag with the reader's letters, dropped to her knees and placed her hands on the packet. Rejoicing ecstatically like a child, she said,
When an elderly man, a soldier who had been in battle, reading your book, suddenly felt tears well up. When a young mama felt a different attitude toward the child she had borne. And a girl, she's still 12, understood everything and started to love life. Look, when this young man says he is not going to take drugs anymore and went to see his mother. When people send letters from the prisons, you see, you feel, their souls singing, acquiring a different strength. Their souls understand those signs I found, and the combinations of universal sounds, and now they are heard in them, they accept them. Not yet everyone, but there will be many of them. The heavens know about this and await each person with love. Look at how people set forth their understanding in verse.
She rejoiced so sincerely and kept talking about the letters that I got carried away by the scene and thought, all right, let her rejoice, let her play her game and believe in her dream's realization. I will write everyone that she is acting. She herself is making up everything and is made joyful from her fictions. I wanted to settle down, and suddenly everything once again got mixed up in my consciousness. I thought it was all a fiction, her imagination. But now, imagine there was something to make you lose your mind. Imagine she was talking about the letters and everything that was in fact written in them, even in letters I hadn't brought to the tiger. But how? She hadn't read them, after all. Dumbfounded, I looked and listened to her recite the poems that were in the envelopes, rejoice at something suddenly or fall silent with concern, as if she had read all the letters in a single instant. Everything she said about the letters was absolutely precise. Absolutely precise. Precise! Stop! Does that mean that before this she was setting everything out precisely and not acting? Dreaming? Of course she was dreaming. But she had dreamed before about both the book and poems before her now, and her dreams had come true. They had. Here is the book lying before her. It is material. It's fantastic. No, this is unreal. Reader, Could it be that you are now holding a particle of the desperate hermit's dream materialized into a book? And what now? Might all the rest really come true as well? When I came out of my stupor, I asked her, "Anastasia, how did you find out what people had written in their letters? It's as if you had read them all, even those I didn't bring." Anastasia turned around, all joyously beaming.
How simple it all is. Look how you can hear the soul speak.
Suddenly, Anastasia fell silent. In the silence, she walked up to me calmly and thoughtfully and said,
Answering all the questions isn't hard, but an answer doesn't fix the problem. An answer gives rise to another question. So today humanity is eating Adam's apple, not knowing they can never be full. Meanwhile, anyone can hear the answer inside himself.
"But how can each person himself learn which answer is correct and which is incorrect?"
It is only egoism that always leads people away from the truth. Vladimir, try to hear me.
We sat down on the grass next to the packet of letters. I saw her eyes shine, and her cheeks flushed when she said,
I will tell you about creating, Vladimir, and then each person himself will be able to give answers to their own questions. Please, Vladimir, listen and write about the Creator's great creation. Listen and try to accept with your soul.
So began Anastasia's inspired story about creation. But it's long. There isn't room for it here. I will say just one thing. After it, I felt like praying. Respectfully yours, readers, and until we meet in the next book. Vladimir Megre.
End of chapter and the Dimension of Love, Book 3 of the Ringing Cedars series. Join us when we begin the 4th book in the series, Co-Creation. All this exists even now.